Are your parents overprotective?
No, my parents are not overprotective.
So how do you feel about your parents' parenting style?
Well, my mom is not as strict with me as she is with my sister. I feel that by having an older sibling, they do all the wrong and incorrect things and like they get in trouble. And then like the younger sibling, which is me, would learn from it and be like, no, I have to stay away from that. That's why my mom is not as strict as she is with me than my sister.
How do you think that has affected you?
I have a lot of allowance, like not in terms of money, but like in terms of freedom. I get to do like things that I want to do. But if it's with my sister, she's like kind of skeptical, like, oh, where are you going? Who are you going with? Like stuff like that. But it's affected me like in a good way because I'm more sociable. I get to do like a lot of things and experience a lot of things. Yeah.
What are your opinions on overprotective parents?
They have their reasons. I don't know their particular reasons, but parents, they do things because they do things out of love, obviously, and if they're protective, you just gotta know why they are that certain way. Yeah.
Do you think overprotective parents has any effects on their children?
Yeah, because I know that strict parents raise sneaky kids. So, if you have like a really strict parent and your child is gonna find so many ways to sneak out of the house or like lie or do something mischievous. Yeah.
Would you prefer your parent to be more overprotective?
No, I would not because I make a lot of impromptu plans with my friends, right? So whenever I want to go out, I'll just tell my mom on the day itself that I'm going out. I don't want like a parent who's like overprotective and like I need to ask them like 1 week in advance and stuff like that. It's just I'm just gonna be like annoyed and like I might lie to my parents and stuff like that. But yeah, I just like I can't because I've already been like accustomed to this lifestyle. It's gonna be really weird if my mom is suddenly overprotective. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Are your parents overprotective?
I would say they are quite concerned for me to a certain extent because when I was younger, they would always give us curfews. Even if I was just downstairs playing with my friends, the moment it reached 10 p.m., they'd tell us to just get up here, even though my house was literally just 17 floors up. They would be very overprotective like that. But as I grew older, they trusted me and my brother more. So they were more lenient on us and would just let us go out later at night by ourselves.
So how do you feel about your parents' parenting style?
Growing up, at first I thought I was really against it because they were really harsh and strict on a lot of things. Even the smallest of things like your table manners, if you slouch or if you don't put both hands on the table, they'll get really angry. But I think once I grew older and I looked back, I realized their parenting, well, it's far from the best. Really shaped me to be who I am now, and it made me responsible and respectful to my elders.
So how do you think that has affected you?
I think it more or less shaped my personality and the way I do things right now. For example, they always raised me to be very punctual and be responsible for myself so that I didn't bring trouble to others. So I will always make sure myself, I have everything I need done so that I wouldn't have any troubles later on.
So what are your opinions on overprotective parents?
I feel like as a parent, okay, not as a parent, but I understand if you'd want to take care of your child and protect them from all the harm from the world. But I feel like at a certain point of time, you need to start letting go. Because eventually, one day, you're not going to be able to protect your children. And I think it's your job as a parent to make sure your child is able to fend for themselves in the future.
So if the parents are too overprotective, what effects do you think that might have on their children?
I feel like they might grow up being very reliant on their parents. They won't be able to fend for themselves. They wouldn't know what to do without their parents. And in the future, when they go through any hardship, they might not be able to take it because their parents have been shielding them from the hardships all this time.
Okay, thank you. Are your parents overprotective?
To be honest, no, my parents aren't overprotective. They let me do whatever I want. Of course, there are some rules set, like no smoking, don't do drugs, no illegal stuff. But other than that, pretty much, yeah, I'm free.
How do you feel about your parents' parenting style?
My parents' parenting style, carefree. I guess that's one word to put it. Because like what I said before, they let me do whatever I want. So they don't have curfew set for me. It's fine as long as I don't come back too late. So basically, they won't tell us specifically what time to come back by. It's just like by our own thinking, like, oh, I feel 11 o'clock is late, for example. So we'll try to return before 11. My parents' parenting style, that rhymes by the way. My parents' parenting style, I guess it's pretty good, I guess. But I do know of some parents who are quite, how should I say, overprotective, because they like to impose like strict guidelines on their child. For example, my cousin. So my cousin, her mom, my aunt, she doesn't want her kids to be eating fried food. Must drink at least 2 liters of water a day. Report every hour where are you doing. If you're going out, who are you going out with? What time you need to come back by, which is most likely 10 o'clock at night. And then you can't go out alone with a guy. It has to be at least in parties of 3. And then even if it's 3, right, it has to be at least 2 girl 1 boy and not 2 guy 1 girl. Yeah, so I guess there are different types of parents in the world. I mean, the world is so big, so I guess it's just up to each parents.
So do you think overprotective parents have an adverse effect on their children?
Yes, I certainly think so. Because of the way my cousin was brought up, both her and her brother, they are very timid now. They don't dare to speak up. They would rather just agree with everyone and just follow the flow. They don't really have their own opinions. And then now, my cousin, she's the same age as me, 18. She's trying to have her own opinions now. But it's just very hard because her mother just doesn't want to hear any of it. And because her brother is younger than her, right? So since my cousin has her own opinion now, so my aunt is kind of like focusing her anger onto my younger cousin instead. So yeah, there's gonna be adverse effects, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, that's it. Thank you.
Are your parents overprotective?
No, they're not overprotective at all, because like I put my own rules for myself, so they never really impose anything on me like ever before, and they also feel like they actually almost feel like I follow their rules too much, so they don't really have to like even put any rules on me. But I know some people that are not like me, so they have to be overprotective to a certain extent.
How do you feel about your parents' parenting style?
I think it's quite good, but I feel that they only can use it because I'm able to like adhere to what they want. If I was not as obedient, then it probably just backfire because it's like you're giving them what they want and they're going to take advantage of it. So yeah.
How do you think that has affected you growing up?
I think the freedom they gave me allowed me to set my own boundaries, because if you're overprotected your entire life, like there will come a time where you have to do things on yourself and you wouldn't know what is the limit. But because I was given my own freedom, I chose my own limits, and now I know where I should go and shouldn't go in terms of what is good or right.
What are your opinions on overprotective parents?
I think it depends on the context. Some people are overprotective just because they were brought up overprotective by their own parents. Some people, maybe the kids are just unpredictable. Some are just, they won't believe or trust their kids. So it's like, it depends on the context. But most of the stories you hear nowadays in Singapore, I feel that the kids are not as bad and the parents are just scared to do something wrong. So they are overprotective without any like proper understanding of their kids' behavior.
Do you think overprotective parents have an adverse effect on their children?
I think if it's overly done, yes, because you are suppressing their scope of life at a very young age, so they're not able to explore life as they want. So you're making them live how you want them to live, but they will never be able to understand what they like, and this will be a cycle eventually if it's overly done. So an example of this would be one of my friends. He went to a very good JC, but the parents, and he also was one of the top scorers in my secondary school, and the parents raised him in a way where he can't go out, he shouldn't go out, and he feared going out the first time we went to go eat at KFC, because like he was afraid that the parents will find him and scold him, because the parents usually pick him up right after school for 4 years until Sec 4, and because they are just scared that he will do something wrong, but he's so scared to take chances in life because of this. That's one adverse effect that I've seen due to this kind of parenting ways.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's a real